I remember a story of an old man who passed away already, but he remembered when he was a young child in Częstochowa, his father would bring him to the train station in Częstochowa whenever the Gerer Rebbe would pass by on a train. And since Poland, had a lot of Ger Hasidim, Hasidim from Góra Kalwaria, Ger Hasidim were big in Poland. So in Częstochowa there were also Ger Hasidim. So this father was a Ger. And his father would take him to the train station to just wave to the Ger Rebbe. And to me, this just shows a little bit of the life that existed in Częstochowa before the war, which you don't have now in Poland. You don't have Rebbes in Poland. And all those Rebbes came from Poland. Adom, Skledov, Ger, Alexander, all these Rebbes, all these Hasidic dynasties started in Poland. Of course, Russia as well, Ukraine, but those were the Polish Hasidim. And me as a Polish Jew, I really connect to that, to the Poland that existed. I wish I was living in that Poland. I many times had a dream, at night I would dream, walking on the streets of Poland, of Częstochowa, walking to this shtibel, to this cheder, picking up, Talmud learning, walking, like I look, here in America with the yarmulke, tzitzis, Whenever I go back to Poland, I put the tzitzis in my pants, I put a cap, not to look Jewish, because I'm still afraid. Growing up in Poland, going to the public school, I heard things about, Jews, and I still have that fear.
Did ever something bad happen to you?
So when I was a child, some of the friends knew that I was Jewish because they remembered from the time when I told them the secret. Or I told one of the friends the secret, and he told other people. So they remembered. And I also didn't attend the class called religion, in school where they learned about the religion. I didn't go, and they would ask, why don't you go to the religion? And I wouldn't say anything. I would make an excuse, I don't believe in God or anything, just to make an excuse. And they figured out I'm Jewish, and they would just call me Jew, and would spit at me sometimes. And there was a guy who lived in my block, actually next block, but he would see me around, on the street, and he would stop me and bully me, and he would say, say this religious prayer, and I would, have to say it, and I attended the class, a few times, so I knew how to say it, and and he would let me go, but
You mean Catholic religious?
Yes, the Catholic, right, and he would check, if I'm Jewish or not. Do I know this prayer? And thank God, I started a few lines. I didn't know the whole thing, but just a few lines. He would let me go. Yeah, that was scary, and I still have that fear in me whenever I go back to Poland.
Do you think that it's safe to come to Poland for a religious Jew looking like religious person?
So, depending where you're going, I would not recommend, going by yourself after dark somewhere that you don't know where you're going, because, even though, everywhere you have good people, you have bad people. You cannot say, a whole nation, a whole country is bad, So, there's a lot of good people, in Poland. I know them. And, but since there are also not good people, you have to be careful. And that's why, since I don't know who I'm dealing with, better not to mention that I'm Jewish. I put a cap on, I put regular clothing, and I don't look Jewish.
Do you have the same feeling in America?
No. In America, I can work like this. No one's calling me a Jew, That's why I'm thankful, to God for giving me this opportunity to come to America and live here, where I don't have to fear who I am. I can be myself.
So my next question is about what does it mean to you to be yourself? Because you are a Talmudic scholar, and that's one profession. Do you teach now? This is one of many things that you are doing.
Yes, a few years ago, together with my friends from Yeshiva, we started a educational program for Jewish boys that they don't know much about Judaism. They're traditional. I come from Iran, and we teach them in a synagogue once a week on Monday nights, and it's really a pleasure, seeing them wanting to learn, which reminds me about myself, when I was, thirsty for this knowledge. So to give back, it's a pleasure. And those boys really ask questions, and we teach them, about Judaism.